What if I told you the secret to slowing down aging isn't hiding in an expensive bottle of pills or some miracle cream you see on late-night TV, but in the little choices you make every single day? I know, it sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Most people believe aging is something you can't control. You hit your 60s, 70s, or 80s and you just accept the aches, the fatigue, the forgetfulness. You're told, that's just part of getting older. But what if that's not the whole truth? What if science, and the real-life stories of everyday seniors, prove that certain daily habits can actually slow the aging process? Not stop it completely, of course, but keep your body younger, your mind sharper, and your energy stronger for years longer than you thought possible. Now, here's where it gets interesting. These aren't dramatic, impossible routines. They're not things only athletes or celebrities can do. These are simple, ordinary habits, choices you already face every single day. The difference is, when you do them consistently, they quietly add years of strength, independence, and vitality to your life. And I'll let you in on something else. The last habit we'll cover today, almost nobody talks about it. Yet it might just be the most powerful one of all. The very thing that keeps you feeling alive, connected, and full of purpose. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just hear about healthy tips. You'll walk away with practical, doable habits that you can start today. And trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Now, let's pause for a second and really think about why this matters so much after you hit 60. Your body isn't quite the same as it was in your 30s or 40s, right? The truth is, it becomes less resilient. A bruise that used to heal in a couple of days might take weeks now. A late night that once felt harmless can leave you drained for days. Even small colds or aches seem to linger longer than they used to. That's because recovery slows down. Muscles rebuild more slowly. Joints don't bounce back as quickly. And the immune system? It's not as sharp as it once was. Here's where the daily habits come in. See, when you're younger, your body can afford a little neglect. Skip a meal, miss a night of sleep, spend a weekend sitting around, and you'll bounce back. But after 60, those little things don't just fade away. They add up. Every skipped walk, every sugary snack, every restless night, they quietly chip away at your strength and independence. And the flip side is just as powerful. Every good choice, no matter how small, compounds too. A little more protein. 10 extra minutes of movement. 1 better night's sleep. Over time, those choices stack up and they give you back energy, confidence, and years of quality life. And here's something I want you to hold on to. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It doesn't have to mean losing control of your body or your mind. It can mean independence, vitality, and joy, if you choose wisely. Because in the end, aging isn't just about how many years you live. It's about how fully you live those years. Let's dive into the very first habit that can truly slow down aging: prioritizing protein and balanced nutrition. Now, let me make this clear right away. Eating well in your later years is not about eating less. It's about eating smart. Somewhere along the line, many seniors were told to cut back as they got older. Smaller meals, lighter portions, fewer calories. And yes, portion control has its place. But here's the real truth. Your body after 60 doesn't just need calories, it needs the right building blocks. And the most important building block of all? Protein. Let me share a story with you. Margaret is 71. For most of her life, she's been what you'd call a light eater. Breakfast was always something quick, a slice of toast, maybe a little jam, sometimes just a cup of tea. Lunch, a sandwich. Dinner, a bit of soup or pasta. She thought she was doing everything right. After all, she wasn't overeating, she stayed slim, and she avoided anything heavy in the morning. But here's what started happening. Over the years, Margaret noticed her legs didn't feel as strong as they used to. Getting out of her favorite armchair became more of a struggle. Carrying groceries suddenly felt exhausting. And when she went for her checkups, her doctor pointed out that she was losing muscle mass, faster than expected. At first, Margaret thought, well, this is just old age. Nothing I can do. But then her dietitian suggested something simple. Add protein to her breakfast. Instead of just toast and jam, she started scrambling an egg, adding a scoop of Greek yogurt to her fruit, or even blending up a protein smoothie. Nothing complicated, nothing extreme, just enough to give her muscles the building blocks they were missing. Within months, she felt the difference. Her energy came back. She noticed she could walk farther without feeling tired. Even her mood improved because she didn't get those mid-morning crashes anymore. All from something as simple as making protein a priority. And Margaret's story isn't rare. It's something many seniors experience without realizing it. The science explains why. Protein is essential for maintaining muscle strength, bone density, and even your immune system. Without it, your body has no choice but to pull protein from the only place it can find it, your own muscles. That's when age-related muscle loss, called sarcopenia, begins to speed up. Now, here's the surprising part. You might think you need less protein as you age, but researchers say it's often the opposite. When you were younger, your body could use protein more efficiently. But after 60, that process slows down. Which means you may actually need more protein than you did in your 40s or 50s just to get the same effect. And it's not just about muscles. Protein supports your immune system, helps you heal faster from cuts or injuries, and even helps keep your skin healthier. Without it, recovery slows down, infections become more dangerous, and energy levels plummet. Now, here's where things get a little tricky, and this is something I'd love to hear your thoughts on. Some experts recommend at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. Others say seniors may need even more, depending on activity levels and health conditions. But then you also hear people warn that too much protein could put stress on the kidneys. So here's the question. Do you think seniors should be eating as much protein as younger adults, or should they be cutting back? Experts still debate this, and your perspective matters. Because in the end, it's not just about numbers, it's about finding what works for your body, your health, and your lifestyle. And if you're still with me right now, do me a favor. Drop a number 1 in the comments below. That way, I'll know you're serious about fueling your body the right way, and you're ready to take the first step towards slowing down aging. Let's move on to the second habit, and I mean that literally. Daily movement and strength. Think about it this way. Movement is medicine. Your body was built to move. Every joint, every muscle, every bone was designed with motion in mind. And here's the hard truth. When you stop moving, you start losing. Losing strength, losing balance, losing independence. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not 30 anymore. I can't run marathons. I don't have the energy for long workouts. And you know what? You don't need to. The kind of movement that slows down aging isn't about running miles or lifting heavy weights. It's about staying consistent, keeping your body active every single day, even in small, gentle ways. Let me tell you about Edward. He's 76. 4 years, Edward told himself he was too old for exercise. He spent most of his time in his recliner, watching TV, reading the paper, and telling himself he'd earned the right to rest. But the problem was, resting turned into stiffness. Walking up the stairs made his knees ache. Carrying groceries made him feel shaky. And one day, after nearly tripping on the front step, he realized how close he was to losing his independence. His daughter convinced him to try something simple, 15 minutes of chair exercises a day. At first, he laughed. What good will that do? But he gave it a try. Sitting tall in a sturdy chair, lifting his legs one at a time, rolling his shoulders, pressing a light resistance band. Nothing extreme, nothing that made him sweat buckets. But here's what happened. Within just a few weeks, Edward noticed his legs didn't feel as weak. His balance improved. He didn't feel as winded walking around the block. And the best part? That little 15-minute routine gave him back a sense of control over his body. After 3 months, his doctor noticed a difference too. His blood pressure was better. His energy was stronger. He even said he felt younger. And it all started with a decision to move, just a little every single day. Now, let's look at why movement is so powerful. Science tells us that sitting for long periods is linked to all sorts of problems. Heart disease, diabetes, even dementia. Long hours in a chair slow your circulation, weaken your muscles, and make your metabolism sluggish. Your joints stiffen, your bones weaken, and your balance suffers. That's why you hear people call sitting the new smoking. It slowly robs you of your health without you realizing it. But the good news is this: regular movement changes everything. It gets blood flowing, delivering oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and brain. It strengthens your heart and lungs. It keeps your metabolism humming, so your body processes sugar and fat more efficiently. It improves balance, which means fewer falls, fewer fractures, fewer hospital stays. And beyond the physical, movement lifts your mood, reduces stress, and keeps your mind sharper. Here's where I want your opinion, because this is something even researchers can't fully agree on. Do you think a short 20-minute walk a day is enough to undo hours of sitting? Or does the body need more than that? Some experts say yes, short frequent breaks can make a big difference. Others argue you need at least an hour of activity daily to truly protect yourself. What do you think? Because the truth is, no two bodies are exactly the same. What feels right for one person may not be enough for another. And that's where your voice matters. So, if you're still with me right now, I want you to do one simple thing. Drop a number 2 in the comments below. Let me know that you're committed to moving your body every day, even if it's just a little. Because those small steps, they add up to years of strength, freedom, and independence. The third habit that slows down aging might surprise you, because so many seniors shrug it off as just part of getting older. And that's quality sleep. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: I don't really need much sleep anymore. Or maybe you've said, I've always been a light sleeper, that's just the way I am. It sounds harmless, even normal, but here's the truth. Sleep isn't just rest. Sleep is repair. Every single night, your body goes into maintenance mode. Cells are repaired, muscles are rebuilt, your brain clears away toxins, and your memory is sorted and stored. And when that process is cut short, even by just a couple of hours, your body pays the price. Not always immediately, but slowly, quietly, in ways you don't notice until the damage is already done. Let me tell you about Helen. She's 68. For years, Helen was proud of the fact that she could get by on 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. She would stay up late watching the news, then get up early for her morning walk. She told everyone she was different, that she just didn't need as much sleep as other people her age. But over time, she started noticing changes. Her memory wasn't as sharp. She misplaced things more often. She felt drained halfway through the day, no matter how much coffee she drank. And during a routine checkup, scans showed shrinkage in her brain linked directly to poor sleep. What Helen thought was a strength was actually speeding up her decline. She had unknowingly been aging herself faster, night after night. Science explains why. Without deep sleep, stress hormones like cortisol stay elevated, which makes you feel anxious and weakens your immune system. Healing slows down. Muscles don't recover as well. Small injuries take longer to repair. And the brain. Without deep sleep, harmful proteins start to build up, the very proteins linked to dementia. And here's something else you may not realize. Poor sleep is also linked to higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and weight gain. It's not just about feeling tired. It's about aging faster at a cellular level. Now, here's where the conversation gets interesting. How much sleep do you really need? Some experts say 7 to 9 hours is essential. Others argue that the quality of sleep matters more than the number of hours. And then there are those people, like Helen once was, who claim they feel perfectly fine on just 5 or 6 hours. So, here's the question for you. Is it possible that some people are naturally wired to need less sleep? Or are they simply ignoring the silent damage building up in their bodies? I'd love to hear your perspective, because this is something researchers still debate, and real-life experiences matter just as much as studies. And if you're still with me right now, do me a quick favor. Drop a number 3 in the comments below. It's a simple way to show me, and everyone else watching, that you're committed to giving your body the rest it needs to stay strong, sharp, and independent. The fourth habit that truly slows down aging is one most people don't like to admit, and that's limiting processed comfort foods and focusing on whole, real foods. Now, let's be honest. Who doesn't enjoy an easy frozen dinner, a sweet pastry with tea, or a bowl of ice cream at the end of the day? These foods feel comforting. They're simple. And when you're living alone, or just don't feel like cooking, they can feel like the quickest option. But here's the catch. While they taste good in the moment, over time they quietly chip away at your health. They're often loaded with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. And instead of fueling your body, they create inflammation, weaken your immune system, and drain your energy. Let me share a story with you. Frank is 72. For years, he relied on ready-made meals and little nightly treats. A pastry here, a frozen dinner there, and his favorite, a bowl of cookies and ice cream before bed. He told himself it was harmless. After all, he wasn't overeating, just enjoying the things he loved. But slowly, he noticed he was more tired during the day. His doctor warned him he was on the edge of prediabetes, his cholesterol was creeping up, and climbing stairs left him winded. Frank's wake-up call came when his doctor explained that the very foods he thought were comforting were actually aging him from the inside out. That's when he started making small swaps, trading his frozen meals for roasted vegetables and grilled chicken, replacing his nightly ice cream with fresh fruit and Greek yogurt. Within months, his energy came back. His weight steadied. His blood sugar improved. He didn't feel deprived. He felt alive again. And science backs this up. Processed foods don't just rob your body of nutrients. They spike your blood sugar, then drop it, leaving you drained and craving more. They fuel inflammation, which scientists link to heart disease, arthritis, memory decline, and even some cancers. And here's something fascinating. Some studies show that processed foods may even shorten your telomeres, those little protective caps at the ends of your DNA strands. Shorter telomeres mean faster aging at a cellular level. In other words, it's not just about your waistline. It's about how old your body becomes on the inside. Now here's the interesting part, and this is where I'd love to hear your opinion. What do you think is worse? Eating small amounts of processed food every single day, or saving it all up for one big indulgence once a week? Some experts argue daily exposure does more harm. Others believe one large cheat day puts more stress on your body. The truth? There isn't one clear answer yet. So let me ask you, which approach do you think is more damaging, the daily treats or the big once-a-week splurge? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your perspective might just help another senior out there. And if you're still with me right now, take a second to drop a number 4 in the comments. That way I'll know you're committed to making those simple swaps that give your body the fuel it truly deserves. The fourth habit that truly slows down aging is one most people don't like to admit, and that's limiting processed comfort foods and focusing on whole, real foods. Now, let's be honest. Who doesn't enjoy an easy frozen dinner, a sweet pastry with tea, or a bowl of ice cream at the end of the day? These foods feel comforting. They're simple. And when you're living alone, or just don't feel like cooking, they can feel like the quickest option. But here's the catch. While they taste good in the moment, over time they quietly chip away at your health. They're often loaded with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. And instead of fueling your body, they create inflammation, weaken your immune system, and drain your energy. Let me share a story with you. Frank is 72. For years, he relied on ready-made meals and little nightly treats. A pastry here, a frozen dinner there, and his favorite, a bowl of cookies and ice cream before bed. He told himself it was harmless. After all, he wasn't overeating, just enjoying the things he loved. But slowly, he noticed he was more tired during the day. His doctor warned him he was on the edge of prediabetes, his cholesterol was creeping up, and climbing stairs left him winded. Frank's wake-up call came when his doctor explained that the very foods he thought were comforting were actually aging him from the inside out. That's when he started making small swaps, trading his frozen meals for roasted vegetables and grilled chicken, replacing his nightly ice cream with fresh fruit and Greek yogurt. Within months, his energy came back. His weight steadied. His blood sugar improved. He didn't feel deprived. He felt alive again. And science backs this up. Processed foods don't just rob your body of nutrients. They spike your blood sugar, then drop it, leaving you drained and craving more. They fuel inflammation, which scientists link to heart disease, arthritis, memory decline, and even some cancers. And here's something fascinating. Some studies show that processed foods may even shorten your telomeres, those little protective caps at the ends of your DNA strands. Shorter telomeres mean faster aging at a cellular level. In other words, it's not just about your waistline. It's about how old your body becomes on the inside. Now here's the interesting part, and this is where I'd love to hear your opinion. What do you think is worse? Eating small amounts of processed food every single day, or saving it all up for one big indulgence once a week? Some experts argue daily exposure does more harm. Others believe one large cheat day puts more stress on your body. The truth? There isn't one clear answer yet. So let me ask you, which approach do you think is more damaging, the daily treats or the big once-a-week splurge? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your perspective might just help another senior out there. And if you're still with me right now, take a second to drop a number 4 in the comments. That way I'll know you're committed to making those simple swaps that give your body the fuel it truly deserves. The fifth habit that slows down aging isn't about food, or exercise, or even sleep. It's about something deeper. Something that touches not just your body, but your heart and your mind. And that's staying socially and emotionally connected. Now, most people don't think of loneliness as a health risk. They think of it as a feeling, something you simply get used to. But research tells us otherwise. Being isolated, being cut off from people you care about, can be as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about that for a moment. 15 cigarettes a day. Let me share a story with you. George is 82. After his wife passed away, he told himself he was fine. He stayed home, watched television, ate his meals quietly, and rarely reached out to old friends. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. But over the years, George noticed his memory slipping faster than before. His mood darkened. His energy drained. His doctor noticed his health declining, not because of a disease, but because of isolation. His body and mind were literally feeling the absence of connection. Things began to change when George's daughter convinced him to join a local community group for seniors. At first, he resisted. "What's the point?" he asked. But slowly, he began attending. He shared meals, laughed with new friends, joined in on group activities. And within months, something remarkable happened. His mood lifted. His memory improved. Even his doctor noticed he seemed sharper and healthier. George realized it wasn't just the medicine keeping him alive, it was the people. Science explains why. Loneliness raises stress hormones, weakens the immune system, and increases the risk of depression, dementia, and even heart disease. On the other hand, connection, real, meaningful connection, lowers stress, strengthens the brain, and even helps you live longer. And here's something worth thinking about. In today's world, connection can look different for different people. Some seniors find joy in face-to-face gatherings, church, family dinners, social clubs. Others find it through phone calls, video chats, or even connecting online. And here's the question. Do you think an online video call brings the same benefits as sitting across the table from a loved one? Some researchers say yes, that seeing a face and hearing a voice triggers the same positive brain responses. Others argue that nothing can replace a hug, a handshake, or simply sitting side by side. So what do you think? Does technology count as real connection, or is it just a substitute? I'd love to hear your thoughts, because this is one of the biggest questions seniors face today. And if you're still with me at this point, take a second and type number 5 in the comments. That simple act tells me you've made it through every single habit, and more importantly, that you're serious about nurturing the connections that keep you young at heart. So, let's take a step back and look at what we've uncovered together today. 5 habits. 5 simple, everyday choices that don't look like much at first. But over time, they can quietly add years of energy, strength, and joy to your life. Habit number 1. Prioritizing protein and balanced nutrition. Not about eating less, but about eating smart, giving your body the building blocks it needs to stay strong. Habit number 2. Daily movement and strength. Because the body is built to move. And when you stop moving, you start losing. Even the smallest steps keep you steady, confident, and independent. Habit number 3. Quality sleep and restorative nights. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's repair. It's the fuel your brain and body need to keep working the way they should. Habit number 4. Eating whole foods and limiting processed comfort foods. Real food gives you energy. Processed food takes it away. And those choices show up not just in your waistline, but in your DNA, in the very way your body ages. And habit number 5. Staying socially and emotionally connected. Because connection isn't just about happiness. It's about health. Your heart, your brain, even your immune system depend on it. Now, here's what I want you to really think about. Which one of these habits hit home for you the most? Was there one that made you pause and say, "That's me. I do that every day"? Or maybe you recognized a loved one's habits more than your own. Sometimes the hardest part of change isn't breaking the habit. It's admitting the habit is there in the first place. And the moment you recognize it, you've already taken the first step towards slowing down aging and reclaiming your independence. And remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's not about never sitting, never enjoying a sweet treat, or always sleeping 8 hours a night. It's about awareness. It's about balance. It's about making small, intentional choices that add up over time. Choices that keep you standing tall, thinking clearly, and living fully in your later years. So let me ask you again, which of these 5 habits surprised you the most? And which one do you think will be the hardest to change? Share your answer in the comments. Because your story, your voice, your experience could inspire someone else who's going through the very same struggle. Here's the most important thing I want you to take away from today. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It doesn't have to mean losing your strength, your memory, or your independence. It can mean wisdom. It can mean resilience. It can mean living with more joy than ever before, if you choose the right daily habits. And those choices, they don't have to be big. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to be consistent. Every meal you eat, every walk you take, every hour of quality sleep, every fresh food swap, every connection you nurture, all of it is an investment in your future. So if this video opened your eyes, or gave you even one simple step you can start working on today, do me a favor. Give it a thumbs up. That one small action helps this message reach more seniors who truly need it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video from us. Because here at Senior Strong Living, we believe aging doesn't mean slowing down. It means living smarter. It means making choices today that give you strength, independence, and joy for years to come. And one more thing. If you know a parent, a friend, or even a neighbor who could use this information, share this video with them. Sometimes, just one conversation can change the course of someone's health, and maybe even their life. You deserve to stay strong. You deserve to stay independent. You deserve to live fully. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next video, right here, on Senior Strong Living.